Namaste, beautiful yogis. This is going to be a Vinyasa Flow level 2. Let's begin at the front. Roll the shoulders back and down, lengthen through the crown of your head, allowing your feet to almost sink through your mat, feeling grounded, slightly extending the tailbone down and lifting the kneecaps up, activating the core. With each inhalation, feel your chest expanding. And let's inhale the hands over the head. And over the third eye, and over the heart. One more time, big breath in, lift and reach all the way over your head. Exhale, bring your hands over your third eye, over your heart. And let's step the feet hip width apart. Open your arms out to the sides, shoulders relaxed. Keeping your hips forward, turn over to one side and look back behind you, trying to keep the hips facing forward. Back to center and still with square hips. Turn over to the other side. You're really using your midsection to rotate here. Go as far as you can without forcing it. We're just warming up here, so just stay soft, supple, and easy. Inhale, reach all the way over the head, and exhale, flat back all the way down. And let's wrap the hands around the elbows and just allow your upper body to hang heavy. Try not to support your head here. Let your head be heavy and your neck relaxed, softening the face muscles. You can rock side to side here or stay still. Feel the spine decompressing. Breathe into your hamstrings. And let's bring the hands down on the mat. Inhale, look ahead of you. And come up to standing all the way, reaching over the head and maybe going into a back bend. And back to a forward bend, flat back. Exhale, your hands down on the floor, or if you can't reach the floor, your shin bones. Inhale, look ahead. And now let's step into plank. Trying to open the chest here and to keep the shoulders back and down, away from the ears. Pull the belly in, press the heels away from you, and squeeze the inner thighs towards the midline. Slowly lower it down, belly on the ground, hands by the rib cage, elbows in, and come up cobra. Really trying to lengthen the entire spine here, lengthening the back of the neck, pressing the toes down into your mat. Slight tuck in the tailbone. Come back down and let's tuck the toes under. And exhale back in downward facing dog. You can walk in place here. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Pull the belly in and up, lifting through the tailbone here. And try to allow the heels to drop down either on the mat or, if they can't reach the mat, toward the mat. Great, look forward and let's step the feet between the hands. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Lift. Slight back bend. Let's bring the hands over the third eye and over the heart, back to your center. Inhale, lift, reach, open. Exhale, folding all the way into a forward bend. Inhale, look ahead of you. Let's bring the hands on the floor and step into plank. Nice, beautiful plank. Keeping the mind steady as much as the plank steady. Body and mind steady, and lower down, chaturanga, elbows in. Inhale, upward facing dog. Opening the space between the collarbones. back to chaturanga. Exhale, downward facing dog. Drawing the navel in and up. Spread the fingers open, planting, pressing the base of each finger into your mat. Pressing each and every knuckle into your mat. And as if you feel a lift from the forearms, as if you're taking the weight off of your wrists and lifting some of the weight into your forearms with an invisible force. Let's step the feet between the hands, coming to the front. Exhale, forward bend. Keep your back straight and come up to standing, going into a slight back bend if you wish. And back to center, hands over the heart. Big breath in. Inhale your hands over the head. Exhale, hands on the floor or on your calves. Forward bend. Inhale, look ahead of you, prepare the spine. Step back, plank. Wide and open chest here, look ahead of you. In keeping the integrity of the pose, let's do leg lifts here, alternating left and right, really projecting through your heel here, left and right, trying to use your glutes here to lift. Hamstrings are working as well. Left and right, keeping the legs straight, the body straight. Left, right, the heel is pressing straight up and away from you. And again, left, right. Keep your belly in and continue breathing. Left, right. Keep the chest open. Lower down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And you can shake your head here. Let's look over one shoulder, keeping the chin parallel to the floor. Back to center. And let's look over the other shoulder. And back to center. Back to chaturanga. Exhale, downward facing dog. You can move your hips side to side here if you feel that you can benefit from this movement. Just try to feel the pose and find a place where you are benefiting the most from this pose. We tend to spend a lot of time in downward facing dog in yoga, so make it a familiar place, a place that you enjoy. And you can shake your head yes and no here, identifying any stiffness you may have in your neck and jaw and face, and just exhaling through there. Let's step the feet between the hands. Exhale, forward bend. Bend your knees, sit back, chair pose. Lift your hands over your head. Belly in, draw your hips all the way back. If you can sit a little deeper, sit a little deeper. If you can lift your chest away from your legs, do so. Coming all the way out of chair pose. Back bend. And back to standing. Hands over the heart. Big breath in, come up. Sit back, chair pose, exhale. Hands on the floor, forward bend. Inhale. Look ahead of you. Flat back, lengthening through the crown of the head, keeping the neck long. And let's jump back into chaturanga. Inhale. Upward facing dog. And back to chaturanga. Exhale in downward facing dog. keeping the feet parallel to each other. Great, let's take the right leg up, rolling the hip on top of the left, lifting through the knee here. Keep your hands steady and just lift as high as you can. You can draw a few circles with your knee here, loosening the hip, finding fluidity in your hip area. Keep lifting through your knee, coming onto the tippy toes on the other side, and you can flip over into wow thing, modified back bend, lifting through the hips. The main point here is to keep your hips really lifting, and slowly come back to one-legged plank. And let's step the foot on the outside of the right hand one more time. Back, stepping the foot in and back. Step it in and back. Step it in and back. And lower down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Back to chaturanga. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. And again, feel free to move in downward facing dog if it feels beneficial to you. Let's go over to the other side, lifting the left leg up, reinforcing the hands, spread the fingers open, roll the left hip on top of the right, feel the inner thigh stretching here, lift through your knee as high as you can, and breathe into your hips, groin area, inner thighs, hamstrings, quadriceps, wherever you feel stiffness. You can draw a few circles here. Stay fluid and keep your breath fluid without obstruction. And let's step the left foot behind us into wild thing. Lifting the hips as high as you can, opening the chest vibrant. And slowly coming back into one-legged plank. And let's step the left foot on the outside of the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And lower down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Back to chaturanga. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pull the belly in and up, softening the gaze. Nice deep breath here in downward facing dog. And let's prepare to jump the feet between the hands. Chair pose. Sit back, look up. Come all the way up to standing. Back bend and hands over the heart, coming back to your center. Equal standing. And one more time, chair pose. Sit as far back as you can. Exhale the hands on the floor. Bow down. Inhale, look ahead of you, lengthening the back of your neck. And let's jump the feet back into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. You can rock the hips side to side here, looking back at your feet side to side. And back to chaturanga. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, the right leg comes up, plank on one leg, and let's bring the right foot towards the left hand here. 3, 4, 5, and step your right foot between your hands. Take as wide of a stance here as you can, lowering the left knee on the floor. I'm pressing my hips forward. My hips are even, square, but at the same time I'm pressing my left hip into my left hip flexor. So I'm stretching the hip flexor here. And let's bring the left hand on the floor, right arm comes up. Shoulders down, hands are reaching away from each other. Exhale and go a little deeper in this twist as you soften your belly. Trying to keep the weight on your legs here rather than your hand. Hands on the floor, stepping back, plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Chaturanga. Exhale, downward facing dog. And let's take the left leg up. And plank on one leg. Let's bring the foot across over to the right side. 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's step the left foot between the hands, taking wide stance here. Lowering the right knee on the floor or the area just above the knee. Try not to place weight on your kneecap. Low lunge, leaning forward, so slight tuck in the tailbone. Great, and let's lower the right hand on the mat, left hand up, as if you're trying to really open the chest here by reaching the hands away from each other. Make sure not to create any tension in your shoulders here, in your neck, relaxing the face. Weight is on the legs and the hand is there just for balance. Exhale, softening the belly. And let's bring the hands on the floor, stepping back, plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, hold. Back to chaturanga, exhale in downward facing dog. Coming back to your breath, the cultivation of Ujjayi breath. And let's jump the feet between the hands, chair pose, all the way up to standing. Hands over the heart. Inhale, chair pose, reaching the hands over the head. Exhale, hands on the floor, on the legs. Inhale, look ahead of you. And let's jump all the way back into chaturanga or step back into plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. And back to chaturanga. Exhale, downward facing dog. I'm holding upward facing dog a little longer here because I know everybody tries to avoid it. So it's good to hold the poses we try to go fast through. And let's take the right leg up. Open the right hip on top of the left. Here we're gonna do a balancing pose. It's really deceivingly easy looking. Taking the left hand behind you to grab your right foot. If you lose your balance, just come back to your breath. Some days are better than others when it comes to balance and everything else in life, really. And once you're holding your foot, just focus on a point in front of you, just looking there. Great. Alright, and plank, one-legged plank, knee between the elbows and back, knee between the elbows, back, knee between the elbows, back. Stay with your breath. 4, 5, stepping the right foot between the hands, come up, high lunge, and let's bring the hands over the heart, lengthening through the crown of the head, elongating the spine. Exhale, twisting, bringing the left elbow on the outside of the right knee. Work with your breath here. As you inhale, lengthen through the crown. As you exhale, go a little deeper in your twist. You can extend the hands away from each other and feel free to stay at this stage of this pose. We're building on top of the previous pose, so the next level is to clasp your hands behind you. Once you do that, unglue your chest from your thigh so that you're lifting through your chest. Either stay here or step forward and take your left foot off the floor into a modified warrior 3. Challenging but worth a try. And then you can step right back. Transitioning into an arm balance, feel free to pause here and just play with it. Extended side crawl. And slowly coming out of the arm balance, back to center. Back to high lunge. Inhale your hands over the head. Exhale them on the floor. Stepping back plank, lower down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Back to chaturanga and exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take the left leg up, bending the left knee, prepare to grab your left foot here with your right hand. Looking at the mat, good. And bring the hands down, plank, knee in, second time, 3, 4, knee tucks, 5, and let's step the foot between the hands, come up, high lunge, crescent, hands over the heart, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist. Really soften your belly as you twist. Shoulders are down, chest is open. And either stay in the previous stage or you can reach with your hands away from each other. Again, you can stay here or you can clasp your hands behind, threading one hand underneath your leg. Either stay here or transition into an arm balance. There is a different angle of this arm balance, so it's a little more obvious. The alignment is a little more clear. And coming out of it, back to high lunge, with a clasp or without a clasping behind. And you can step your back foot off the floor, coming into a bound warrior 3. and down. Back to twisting and back to lunge. And let's step the feet back into plank. If this whole sequence was complicated, just do one part of it every day and build upon it. Holding plank, let's jump the feet on the outside of the hands, on the outside of the mat, and jump them back into plank. One more time, jump the feet out and all the way back. And again, jump the feet out and back. Jumping the feet out and jump them back into plank. Keeping the belly steady. One more time, jump out and jump back. One more time and all the way back. And last one. Jump the feet on the outside, point the toes out and come back into a yogic squat. Hands together in prayer, elbows are opening the knees out. Either stay here or you can open the arms out and clasp your hands behind and around the right leg here. Open the chest. And slowly back to center and over to the other side. Clasping, relaxing the shoulders, trying not to hold tension here, rather exhale tension from your shoulders. Extending the hands and back to prayer. Great hip opener. And let's bring the hands on the floor and prepare for crow. So here we're gonna work the knees as high as we can on the triceps and slowly begin to lift your feet, either one foot or both, off the floor, looking slightly ahead of you, squeezing the feet together. Lower down yogic squat just to take a breath, and we're gonna repeat crows. One more time, lift. Try to keep your mind steady through arm balances. We're testing our patience here. Even if you're just taking one leg off the floor, one day they're gonna both come off the floor and it will feel natural. And back to yogic squat. And let's straighten the legs. I'm threading the hands between the calves here, holding the shins with opposite hands. Feel free to just hold your calves here, holding a forward bend for a little longer. And let's bring the hands on the floor and step back plank. Right foot between the hands, come up, high lunge. We're gonna move somewhat quickly here. Exhale your hands on the floor, and let's take the left foot and come up, lunge. Stay with your breath. Inhale up, exhale down. Hold the breath, step right foot in, inhale up, exhale down, holding the breath in between, and inhale up on the left side, exhale down, Again, right foot forward, lift up, exhale down, left foot forward, inhale up, exhale down to plank. And chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, back to chaturanga. Exhale, downward facing dog. And let's walk the hands back towards the feet, coming into a forward bend one more time. Hugging the legs. And you can wrap your hands around your elbows and just hang like a rag doll here. Great, let's walk the hands back to the front of the mat. Plank. Right foot under, right hand on the floor, left arm reaches up. Lift your hips high, trying to keep your hips lifted here, your core lifted, your belly lifted, your sides lifted, the inner thighs squeezing towards each other. And we're gonna reach with the left hand underneath the right rib cage. Second time, just really try to reach as if there's something right behind you and you're trying to touch it. Keeping the alignment. Third time. And again. One, and let's come into plank, still reaching underneath, and place your hand down and let's go over to the other side, lifting the hips. You can mismatch your feet here so that they're not stacking on top of each other. That would be a little easier, or you can step your right foot in front of you altogether. And this is a good variation for beginners. And reaching underneath the rib cage one more time, trying to reach with the fingertips. And again, last one, and just bring your hips parallel to the floor from here. Good. And bring your hand on the floor. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, back to chaturanga, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg comes up. Step the right foot between your hands and come up. Warrior one, hips are facing forward. Extending the tailbone down, relaxing the shoulders. Hands over the third eye, open into warrior two. Go a little deeper here in your lunge. Relax the hands and the shoulders. Looking ahead of you, let's turn the right palm up and reach up and over the head, walking the left hand down the left leg. Keep your front knee bent. Come back up and let's lower the right hand on the inside of the right foot. Left arm reaches up, lengthening the spine. Reach way ahead of you with your left hand, keeping a straight line on top of the body from the foot all the way into the fingertips. And let's bring both hands on the floor on the inside of the right foot. Lower your knee one more time on the floor. We're really working on opening those hip flexors. We tend to sit all day long, walking, running, everything tends to shorten and make them less flexible. So it's good for pretty much everyone to open the hip flexors and stretch the quadriceps. And let's step back into plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Back to chaturanga and exhale in downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg comes up. Step your left foot between your hands. Warrior 1 on the left side, come up. Hands over the third eye and open into Warrior 2. Extending the tailbone down, shoulders relaxed. And let's walk the right hand down the right leg, keeping the left knee bent, reaching with your left hand all the way up and over. Really lengthening here. Feel your sides lengthening. And let's come out of this and lower into side angle. Pressing your left shoulder back into your left knee, lengthening the obliques. Reach with your right hand forward, the palm of the hand turning down towards the floor. Pressing into the outer edge of the back foot. And let's bring both hands on the floor and lower your back knee down. Holding here, stay either on your hands or on your forearms depending on your flexibility level. Try to stay in a place where you do feel a stretch but it doesn't hurt, there is no pain or discomfort. It feels almost like a pleasant stretch. It's better not to shock the body. And let's step back in plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Back to chaturanga and exhale, downward facing dog, really lifting the hips as high as you can. Breathe into your hamstrings here and breathe into your calves. Coming onto the tippy toes, jump your feet at the front of the mat, chair pose. Inhale, coming out of chair, arch. Hands over the heart. And let's bring the hands on the lower back, fingers pointing up. If you can't, bring the fingers to point up, have them pointing out. Walk your elbows as close to each other as you can and begin to press your hips forward, lifting here through your sternum, through your heart, into a back bend. Just stay in a place where you can still breathe and feel somewhat comfortable. And slowly come out of this. Watch out for dizziness here. Take a moment with your hands over your heart. And let's sit back in chair. Exhale, folding forward. Back to chair. Hands over the heart. And let's bring the right elbow on the outside of the left knee. Keep your knees square so that your hips are square and your tailbone is aligned with your spine. And you can stay there or you can go into side crow. Or you can just work on side crow here. Of course, this is for level 2 Vinyasa, otherwise you can just stay in chair. Chair is pretty challenging on its own and it's great for your legs and developing core. And let's go over to the other side. Really exhale as you go into your twist. Stay here if you're not experienced with crow, or you can bring your hands down on the floor and keeping the knees or the legs on your triceps, come up into a side crow, looking ahead of you. Steady. And slowly lower down. Let's bring the hands back in prayer, lifting the hands over the head, coming up to standing. Hands over the heart. Big breath in, chair pose. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, look ahead of you. And let's jump into Chaturanga, upward facing dog. Back to Chaturanga. And exhale in downward facing dog. Inhale, the right leg comes up. Exhale, right foot between your hands. Drop the back heel down on the floor and come up, warrior one. Pressing into the outer edge of the left foot here. Let's bring the hands over the heart, open to warrior two. Virabhadrasana 2. Sink a little deeper here. The left hip is externally rotating here. The right knee is pointing directly forward, aligning with the toes here. Staying with your breath. And let's bring the right hand over the head and lower down into side angle. And one more time, reversing the warrior and lowering down. Windmill your hands here, coming up, lifting and back, and lower down, bringing the hand over. And let's bring both hands on the inside of your foot. One more time, lower down the knee and breathe. This is really gonna prepare you for splits. And let's step back in plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, back to Chaturanga, and exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg comes up, warrior one, and let's open into warrior two. Windmill the hands back and forward into side angle. One more time, coming up, reversing the warrior and lower down, side angle. Legs are steady, just the upper body is moving here, using your breath as you move and lower down into side angle. Let's bring both hands on the floor, wide stance here, and lower down. Breathe into your hip flexors and hamstrings and hips. And let's step into plank, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, and back to Chaturanga. Exhale, one more time, downward facing dog, enjoying the benefits of downward facing dog here. Feel the spine decompressing, feel the neck relaxing, getting the spine out of the upright position. Inhale, right leg comes up, step your right foot between your hands. Coming into high lunge, hands over the heart, lower your chest over your right thigh and come up into warrior three. Flex your back foot, pull the toes in towards you, press the heel away from you, looking ahead of you and keeping the hips level with the floor. And try not touching the floor. Without touching the floor, try to come up to standing, bringing the right knee, rather the left knee here into the rib cage. And either just hold your foot here or try to straighten your leg, either halfway or all the way if you can. Stay with the level of flexibility you're at and just try to work on your balance and steadiness. And back to warrior three and back to high lunge. Inhale your hands up and exhale your hands down, stepping back into plank. Upward facing dog, back to Chaturanga, and exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take the left leg up, step your left foot between your hands, coming up into high lunge, the back heel pointing straight up, and let's bring the hands over the heart and shift into warrior three. Hips are square, hips are level with the floor, looking ahead. Slowly come up to standing and bring your right knee into your rib cage. holding the foot here with one or both hands. Try to either hold it, or if you can, straighten the leg either halfway or all the way, looking up. And back to warrior 3 again, trying not to touch the floor, trying to work on your balance, patience and steadiness. And back to high lunge, hands on the floor, plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, back to chaturanga, and exhale in downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg comes up. And let's bring the right knee between the elbows and lower the leg down, lower the shin bone down on the floor for pigeon. Eka Pada Rajakapotasana. Open the chest up, keeping the rib cage lifted, lower down. Make sure your hips are level with the floor and your tailbone is aligned with your spine. You can flex your right foot here and really make sure to go back to your Ujjayi breath. Try to slow down the rate of breathing here, as slow as you can, inhaling and exhaling. If you can, count to 8 for each inhalation and exhalation, and as you exhale, really try to soften your hip. And let's walk the hands a little closer to the hips and bring them in prayer. This is optional. Bringing the right elbow on the outside or in the sole of the right foot. Either stay here or you can lower down in pigeon and just continue breathing. Feel free to stay in pigeon for longer periods of time. I recommend 3 to 4 minutes if you have the time. And whenever you're ready, coming out of it and trying to stay off of the leg, go back into a one-legged downward facing dog and just circle the knee. Breathe into your hip. This circular motion will make your hip that much more flexible for next time. And over to the other side, squeeze your knee in into your chest and lower it down. Once your shin bone is down on the floor, open the chest, keeping the rib cage lifted. Lower down and breathe. Really lengthening the spine here, trying not to round the back. Trying to stay with the breath. Counting your breath and trying to quiet the mind here. And let's bring the left elbow in the sole of the left foot, hands in prayer, look up. This is optional only if you feel comfortable in pigeon. And to come out of it, you can lower the hands down on the floor. Slowly, whenever you're ready, walk your hands back in towards your hips, open the chest. And back into one-legged downward facing dog, circling the left knee here. Feel the fluidity. And back into downward facing dog, Knees on the floor, open them a little wider than hip width apart and lay down in child's pose. The palms of the hands facing each other, relaxing the shoulders, softening the breath. Child's pose is extremely calming for the nervous system. And let's come up to seated. Bring your legs in front of you. Flex your feet, pull your toes back in. Open the chest, drop the shoulders down, tuck the shoulder blades into your back. Sitting in Dandasana. Inhale, hands over the head, and exhale, folding forward, keeping the spine straight. Grab your feet, or you can use a strap here. Inhale, lengthen one more time. Exhale, folding. And again, inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale, folding. And you can allow your spine to round slightly at the end. And just hold here and breathe. Breathe into your hamstrings. Try to keep your feet flexing so that you're stretching the calves as well. Inhale, come up. Here, I'm gonna go ahead and do half lotus, but you can just bring your right foot into your left inner thigh and fold forward. If you can do half lotus, that's a great way to work into full lotus. And let's bring the left hand on the right foot and the other hand up and over the head, picking underneath the shoulder, back to center. And let's switch sides. Bringing the right foot on top of the left thigh and folding forward. Keep your right knee open here and pressing down. And let's bring the right hand on the left foot. Look underneath your shoulder and back out. Coming all the way back up. Soles of the feet together into Baddha Konasana. Allowing the knees to drop out to the sides towards the floor. Keep the chest open. Coming back to your breath. Feel the sitting bones sinking through your mat. And either stay here or you can go ahead and go into full lotus pose. Hands on the knees, palms facing up. You can bring the index finger and thumb together, the tips of the fingers touching. And just observe your breath, staying present, observing the pose, observing your stillness, observing your mind. Is it still today? Is it unquiet? Is there constant chatter in your mind? Can you quiet it down? Can you put it on pause? Can you stay still? Can you be present? And feel free to stay in lotus for longer, or you can lower down and lay on your back. Bringing the right knee in and across into a supine twist. Both shoulders are on the floor, looking back towards your left hand, and slowly come back up. Squeeze your knee in and switch sides. Right knee comes in, right shoulder on the floor. Bring your right knee across and look at your right hand. Breathe, exhale, soften your belly. You don't have to try really hard here. You don't have to force the pose. Just work using gravity and using relaxation, using softening the muscles so that you can go deeper. And come back up, hug your knee in, and extend your legs down on the floor. And let's step the feet hip width apart. In keeping the feet parallel to each other, and come up into bridge pose, lifting the hips as high as you can. And slowly lower down. Bring the soles of the feet together for reclining baddha konasana pose. Relax the shoulders down on the ground. Open the chest, soften the belly. With your eyes closed, feel free to remain in this pose for as long as you need to. Namaste.